Methinks we had a power blink. Not sure, because things were going one way and then they were going another. So at this point, we'll see what goes on. I better turn on the chat so I can see if anybody's in the room or if I'm just talking to myself. Nope, Scotty's here, Raymond's here, Woody's here. Yay! I don't know what happened, but I do know the power went off, came back on, and now it all seems well. But you know what? Suspicious minds keep thinking that there's something wrong when there isn't. Alrighty, well, we got 3 people in here. Hi, Scotty. Hi, Raymond. Hi, Woody. Hi, Kyle. Welcome to everybody. And we are on the live stream show. So I've been using this guy, which is the Panasonic, all week long, and I've been getting to make friends with it. It's a little bit harder to make friends with than what I thought. But I decided to name tonight's show How to Live Stream. And do you know why? I'll tell you why. Because there's a lot of people this week, at least 3, which to me is a lot, okay, that reached out to me to go like, how can I live stream? And I thought, we all know how to live stream, don't we? But maybe we don't know how to live stream. So there's nothing better than a course refresher. So here we go. I did change the lens, just for those of you that are Detective Clouseau sleuths out there. Instead of using the 50mm L lens, I'm using the Canon 85mm 1.8 USM lens. I guess that's what we call it. All right. So I'm not sure, but I think it might be set too hot. I got it set to ISO 500, and maybe it should be set to ISO 400. Well, we'll leave it for a while. We'll see if anybody complains. So here we go. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How do we live stream? Well, you start by saying hello to everybody that's there watching you. And then you've got 2 ways, mindsets that you could take off from there. Either you've got yourself a friendly group, or you try to be very strict. And if you want to be very strict, you know, you only answer questions on topic and so on and so forth. So that is your choice. So this one is Peter Gregg Live, which is different than Peter Gregg or Peter's Kitchen or Sweet Sleep. Each one is directed in their own way. All right. So this one is where a bunch of us get together as friends and say hi. It's the beginning of the weekend officially, because it is 10 o'clock on a Friday night. Parents, do you know where your camera is? I mean, your children are. So we have some people in here, and let's just say hi. We're going to say hi to Scotty, and Scotty says 400 subs. Does that mean we have 400 subs here? Did we finally hit 400 subs? You know, that's something I always forget to say. Are you watching and you're not subscribed? Well, please, I'm asking you to subscribe, even though this is basically a group of friends that we got going on here. So that's Scotty. Raymond is here. Oh, Raymond flew in all the way from California. How's your arms? Are they tired, Raymond? Are they tired? Let me, since we don't have too many people in here, let me change it to ISO 400. And then you guys that are watching right now, I need you to tell me, do you like this one or do you like ISO 400 better? So where are we at? We're at ISO 500, okay? Because I like it to be a little bit nice and bright. So I'm going to get up. You can handle this. Trust me. You're a big boy now. I'm going to walk over to the camera and I'm going to change it from ISO 500 to ISO 400. And then what I want everybody to do, even lurkers, is tell me, do you like this picture better or do you like the one that's about to come? So take a look at my face. That feels dumb. All right. So I'm going to go over and I'm going to change it to ISO 400. Right. So we're at 500. Now we're at 400. Now when it comes back around to the camera, tell me if you even notice a difference. Oh, we're back. So this is 400 ISO versus 500 ISO. So let's get back to saying hi, because that's our style on how to live stream. We talk to the people that come to visit the Christmas room and say hello to me, because it's very important to me, okay? So we're at ISO 400 right now. All right, so we are at ISO 400. Also, I forgot to turn off the yellow fan, and the yellow fan adds noise, which you can hear right now, but now the noise is gone. Oh, I want to sit back so I can relax a little bit. It's Friday night. I've been working on my course. Yes, I have. Okay, so you think I'm going to stay in my chair for longer than 30 seconds? Let's see if we can get rolling now. So Raymond says, hello, friends. How you doing, Ray? How's things in California? I'm happy to see you. Woody has good news for us, and he's saying, good evening, everybody. Are you going to tell everybody what the good news is, Woody? Go ahead. Go ahead and tell them. Kyle, how is my big boy? There he is. I love Kyle so much, and everybody else that's in here, I love all of you guys. You know that. How do you know? Well, first of all, I keep telling you. If that isn't the first hint, then I don't know what the next hint is. No, I'm not using this mic. I'm using the lapel mic tonight, okay, in case you're wondering. So I wonder if I can swing that. I could swing that out of the way for some of the cameras. Let's see if it stays out of the way. So Kyle says there's another strong storm coming. So is this a storm up in Oklahoma, or is this a storm in Miami? Miami. So we'll find out. Lewis is here. Hey Lewis, you in or you out? Are you out and about, flying through the air with the greatest of ease? Or are you at home watching the Peter Gregg Show? Inquiring minds want to know. So Lewis says, hello, Peter and friends. Peter, have you tried the 24mm 1.4 lens? Apparently it's magical. Well, Lewis, now that you mention that, no, I haven't. But I guess I've been getting blessed by my dad lately, okay? So I got an adapter, and I've got what they call vintage lenses that, you know, they're not manual focus. I mean, they're not autofocus, they're manual focus. And I found that he's got 5 Canon Hexanon lenses, which most of you guys are too young to know what a Canon Hexanon lens is, but not Canon, Konica, okay? So Konica was a very big camera company years ago. It was bought out by Minolta, and they got swallowed up, and bye-bye, they're gone, okay? But Dad's got 5 lenses. So I got an adapter, and I've been able to use them. But I also found a lens that my dad never let me use, only because it was his favorite lens, not because he was restricting me from using it and saying, well, Peter, you can't use this lens, okay? So I found it, and it was in his closet, and it is the 24mm, like Lewis said, but it's not the 1.4, it's the 2.8. So it's kind of like sitting in a sweet spot. And this sweet spot is that it's wide enough so I can go into lower lights and not get crazy high ISOs. It's wide enough where I can get like this, which we're looking at now, the 24mm, when I'm holding the camera like at arm's length, like at this length right now, all right, kind of looks like what we've got going on right now, all right? But because the Panasonic also has the ability to switch over to a crop frame, which is a 1.5, it actually gives me a nice close-up when I turn around the camera. So it really becomes a 12 and 24. It becomes a 36 millimeter, okay? So that's a very, very nice a focal length. So I haven't tried the 24 millimeter 1.4, and yes, the 24 millimeter 1.4 L lens and the 35 millimeter L lens are magical, all right? But for the Christmas room, I need to be a little more up close because I'm sitting down. Now, if I were to actually stand up, I would need a little bit different frame of, of view because I would want more of the back room and something like that. But when I sit down, I want it to look like, hey, it's you and me, and you and me. No matter how we toss the dice, it's got to be. Okay, so it's more on a personal level where I'm kind of sitting here. I think I have a wider field of view somewhere. We'll find out. All right. So I have used the 24 millimeter, walking around the house, walking around the yard, letting the Panasonic just do its thing. And you know what? It is doing an awesome job with that lens. Now that lens is not on here. This lens is on here tonight. I have the 85 millimeter 1.8 lens, which is a Canon USM lens. So what's the difference between the 50L 1.2 and the Canon 85 USM lens? Well, obviously one's 50 millimeters and the other one is 85. But when I use the 50 millimeter, it gives me a 75 field of view, 75 millimeter field of view, which is just a little bit wider than the one that's on that camera right now, okay? So this only allows a certain amount of width, but we're no longer enlarged. We are using the entire sensor, so we're getting a prettier picture, in my opinion. I guess I'm going to have to hear from you guys what you think, and I will be paying attention. So that was ironic, Louis, that you brought up the 24 millimeter. So it's not the 24 millimeter 2.4, I'm sorry, 1.4 that I tried. That was an alarm. That told me it's time to take a pill. I won't be taking a pill till much later because we got a show to do, okay? So it's a 24 millimeter 2.8, which is not like the 10 to 18 that I'm using, which is a 4.5 to 5.6. Very nice lens, excellent lens, but it's a crop frame lens, number one, and just starting at f4.5, it's not the right thing. So Louis, we're talking about live streaming, okay? So other than using a phone, you're going to want a camera. So do I recommend this camera? Well, yes, I do. And they do go on sale for $17.97. And this camera is the kind of camera that you would really grow into in a serious way. This is not coming in at a consumer level. This camera is coming in at a professional level camera. What does that mean? Am I telling you this just to show off? No. That means I've been having a handful to tune this camera in and get it to do what I want. And that is because it's got so many choices that every time I want to grow into something new, it's sitting there waiting for me. Now, does it have any negatives? Oh, you bet your bippy it does. It definitely has negatives, okay? So I will be making a video, which I haven't made a video for the big channel this week, which is shame on me. Because last week I said I needed to make one, and I didn't. So it's been a whole week. What did you do all week, Peter? What did you do? Just eat chocolate and stay in bed? Well, we know better than that because I don't eat chocolate, okay? Well, I do eat chocolate. I want to eat chocolate, okay? So I lost my train of thought. This is kind of like in your face. Hello? Well, this is the 85 millimeter. It allows me to get close. So if we got any closer, I'd have to kiss you. And most of the people in here are guys, so we're not going to be enjoying that. But this is a nice close-up shot. Okay, I do see some people that do close-up shots. So let's get back to the people saying hello. Jeff is down in Brisbane, and it is 12 p.m. in Brisbane, so it's got like a 14-hour difference, which is pretty cool. I am learning time differences because of Jeff, because of Lewis, who's in Canada, and Sly, who's in Oklahoma. Speaking of Sly, hello, Peter and fellow Petertarians. Happy Good Friday. Oh, it's not Good Friday. That is still coming. We got a ways to go. Okay, we're in the summer. Hot down, summer in the city. Back of my neck not feeling too pretty. Okay, so hi, Sly. Are you ramping up to do your show? Are you traveling? Are we in exile right now, or do we have a little rugrat running around that's going to be a part of your show? Or are we still in exile? It's an on again, off again. It's a Sly thing. You just got to understand. Okay, so hi, Sly. Good to see you. I hope you are going to be live and in color and show us what's in the bag tonight. What's in the bag tonight? Lewis says, wow, my best friends are here. Yes, we've been here, Lewis. Do we love you, Lewis? Yeah. Are you surprised, Lewis? You shouldn't be, okay? We've been here for quite a few years now. As a matter of fact, here's another one. Norm. Merry Christmas, Peter. Good evening. Greggy's around the world. Lots of live streams lately, Peter. Cool coverage of the new Panasonic. Well, it's the hot thing and the only new thing that I have to talk about. So we got that. We got the adapter, because I don't have any Panasonic lenses that will fit on this camera. So what's a boy to do? Well, I bought, here, I got it here. Just so happened to have it here. I bought this adapter. There it is. Okay. So if I put it up like that, let's see, will she zoom in? Yep, it will. If I can get it level. So there we go. We are running. And, oh, that's my sister-in-law. And she caught COVID. So, oh no, it's not my sister-in-law. It is, let's see what's going on here. It's pretty bad when you get a phone message. Okay, let me just say this. Hi, sweetie, I am live and on the air, and I'm telling everybody right now, it's Friday night, 10 o'clock when I go live, and you say hello to everybody. All right, bye. All righty. Can we get on with the show? So many interruptions. Let's see. Who else is going to call me? Randy, you going to call? You going to text me too? And Sly? We should have a texting night. You know, when I first got texted, it was extremely annoying. I felt embarrassed. Like, why is the phone ringing? Okay. Now, I can't turn it off because if something goes wrong, the sound goes down. Randy's able to get through to me right away. Sly's able to get through to me but text. Actually, a lot of you guys can get through to me with text. So I have to pay attention to the texts, okay? So I can't turn it off. But then you got something called family, La Familia, that doesn't know not to text you Friday nights at 10 o'clock, okay? So that is, that's what happened. So now it doesn't get me upset anymore. It doesn't even embarrass me anymore. Because I've seen it happen to some of you guys. You'll be talking along. Like I called Randy right in the middle while he was recording, and he just answered the phone, and we just had a phone conversation. I was a special guest. I was a special guest. Can you believe I was a special guest? So what kicked all that off? Norm was telling me you're doing good with the Panasonic. Well, Norm, yeah, it's what I have to talk about, and I'm using my Canon lenses here. Charles is sending me a Nikon lens and an adapter as a donation to the Christmas room. That's Dr. Charles Richard. So it's an old Nikon lens. Norm might even know which one it is. It's a 50mm f1.2 AIS lens. I don't know much about it. I don't know if it's a good lens or not. We're going to find out, and when I put it on, it will be courtesy of Charles, just like the Viltrox lens on the Nikon is courtesy of, there it is. Okay, so this lens on here is courtesy of Randall Brander. Okay, and heck, there's so many people that has sent me stuff in here. Sly has even sent me an Instant Pot because she wants more kitchen channel things. So she figures the only way I'm going to get it is to send them a Ding Dong Instant Pot. So I got an Instant Pot, and I'm supposed to be doing videos, and that is courtesy of Sly. So people bless me. They give donations. The donations, by the way, go towards actually getting a lens to go on here. And what lens have I picked? I think, see, it doesn't stay in stone because I kind of shift, but I think it's going to be the lens that I'm going to Oh, Roy says, hi, good day from Australia. How you doing, Roy? I love you. How's everything in Australia? Are we getting any stuttering? No, I thought I saw stuttering there for a second. All right, so Roy is one of the friends of the Christmas Room, and Roy, I love you. Thank you for being here. Hi to you and the kids and the family and everybody else. So, did you have dinner already? And are you taking the family home, or have you already gotten back, Norm? I wanted to ask you that when I saw your name. So I know if you're on the road or if you're just chilling and falling asleep on your couch. So Woody said 400, much better. Yeah, that's a little bit of a shock. It's a little bit of a shock because we were at like 286 for 100 years. And then we were at 399. And you know, I've noticed when you're ready to roll over, like 399 to 400, YouTube kind of has a little trick that they do where they stop it from rolling over, because it'll take like 2 weeks to roll it over. So if you're watching right now and you haven't subscribed, let's give YouTube a kick in the ass, okay? Subscribe. If you don't want to be subscribed, you can unsubscribe. But let's kick it over 400, okay? Let's put it, you know, up to 401, 402. So if you are watching and you haven't subscribed before, I'm asking you, please subscribe so we can get it up and give YouTube a kick in the butt. So Roy says, question, new chair. I switched this chair and that one over there, which is Jingle Bell's chair, because I've gotten like a little bit of a, you know, a thing in your heart when you're sad because you lost something. Jingle Bells is my dog, okay? He got killed 3 years ago, and it's maybe 4 now, okay? And it was a very hard thing to get over. It was abnormally hard to get over because he was killed right in front of my eyes. I mean, I finished singing a song in the Christmas Room, okay? So I better be careful. I am not going to get emotional. Nope, okay? So I finished singing a song, a Christmas song, and the poor thing had to go pee. So I took him out in the backyard, and the dog next door broke in and just started shredding him to pieces, okay? It's the worst thing I've ever seen to somebody that I love so deep. He sleeps with me every single night. It took 1.5 years. It wasn't because he died. I've had dogs die. It was because I couldn't do anything to help him. And this was a pit bull or a bulldog. And I'm in there fighting with this dog, and he could have turned on me to kill me. So I got him by the head, and I'm trying to rip his ears off, punching him in the head, okay? It was very traumatic. I'm getting upset talking about it right now, all right? So let's chill out. So I saw that happen, and the last week or so, I'm getting those flashbacks, and they stop me in my tracks, okay? So I brought Jingle Bell's chair over here, right? Okay, so I'm sitting in the chair, and you could tell if I lean over wrong way, Okay, so this back is a little bit different than the other back. It's not any more comfortable, okay? But I am sitting up on 2 pillows to make me a little higher because this chair seems to be a little lower. So I'm sitting up on 2 chairs, okay? So Woody 400 is much better. Yes, and Roy said the chair. It's the chair, the chair. So I'm sitting in Jingle Bell's chair. Jingles is in heaven, you know, and he's having a good time up there. So Funny says 400 for you. How are you doing, Fun Boy? I'm going to call you Fun Boy because I bet you have a good time all the time. 400 for sure. So tell me, because I can't see it here, okay? Tell me if we go up above 400 because I just asked everybody to subscribe, okay? So if you're a lurker, I understand it. You might be too shy to actually say hello, but don't be shy. This is like a family in here. It's the same 400 people that get together every week, all right? So 400 for sure. Norm says, probably won't see much difference between 400 and 500. Try ISO 1200 with the corresponding aperture. That would make a difference. Well, I want to stay down at 1.8. This is the Christmas room. The whole point of what I focus on here is crazy background blur. Now, I've had a few people, but very few and far between, okay? So I come from wedding photography. So when I do the reception and stuff like that, you've got 2 frames of mind. Either you want to pick off someone like a sniper shot with your camera, and you want to separate them from everybody else because you want them to be accentuated in your picture. Well, you blur out the background. You do the same thing if you're going to do a professional portrait. You don't want a picture of the background. You want a picture of the person. And one of the tools you have is light, okay? The other tool that you have is controlling the background blur. So when I brought myself and started doing YouTube in 2007, 8, somewhere around then, and then 2010, I instilled the Christmas room background, which has been here since 2010. I might have had a few where I wasn't in the Christmas room, but basically that is my set, to be in the Christmas room, okay? So I brought with me my portrait skills. So I want each one to look like a portrait, okay? And that's how I set up my cameras. So by moving this up to 2.8, 3.5, 5.6, this is not what my objective is for the look for here. Now, in the kitchen, it's completely the opposite, because I've actually had people complain to me, well, you're in focus, but we can't see the box that's on your counter. It's out of focus. Why is it out? Is your camera broken? Okay. So people that are not into photography, they're not looking at a portrait, okay, then they don't understand when you blur out the backgrounds in a strong way, all right? So that's something to keep in mind for live streaming, because the title of the show tonight is live streaming. So let's see, do we have any questions on live streaming? Maybe that would be nice. So Lewis says, Peter, what do you eat in a day? That's not a question about live streaming, but I eat basically a lunch, a dinner, and a snack. That's what I eat in a day. And it's all very low sugar. And yes, I have a hard time getting away from my desserts, so I have learned to make low sugar desserts. And it works. I get to satisfy my sweet tooth. So Ray says, ISO 400 is sharper and less blown out as expected. You know, I have to agree with you, Ray. I think ISO 400 looks better from where I'm sitting here. But we've got, what, 20 people in here, 16 right now. That means we got 16 different monitors. So I kind of want some feedback as to what you guys are seeing. Some of you guys have calibrated monitors. Some are just watching on an iPhone, iPad. Some of you are watching on a Windows computer. So what one person would say, "Yeah, that's beautiful." Another person would say, "Oh, it's way too much color. I mean, oversaturated." So I like to hear the waffling that goes back and forth. So where's my happy medium? What do I use as my ruler, my yardstick? As if I set it up for that, it usually does well on a calibrated monitor. It does well on a cheapy weepy little 13-inch laptop. It does well on an iPad. It does well on a tablet. It does well on a phone. Okay, I find that my happy medium yardstick, where it seems to bring the least amount of people into like, "Oh, that's bad," and I actually get compliments where people go like, "What a nice picture you've got." Okay, so that is my iPad, and it's my 2022 iPad. I think I bought it last year before the credit cards got taken away. And if it looks good on my iPad, it looks good on my television set, my 40-inch. It looks good on my 65-inch television set that's in the kitchen. We use that in the kitchen because we actually watch television on the television set. Can you imagine that? Okay. And it looks good on my iMac, my 5K, whatever's in that thing. So that actually is my ruler, my yardstick. So Woody is telling us his little happening for the week. My Z8 is back home. It's about a 10-day turnaround that included the holiday. That's excellent. So Woody bought a brand spanking new Z8 camera from Nikon, and the first thing that happened is that he had a recall notice. So if it was me, I honestly would have procrastinated and put it off to the last minute, but he figured he wanted to get ahead of the line. So within hours of getting the camera in, brand spanking new camera, and the first time that Woody has a full frame camera too. Okay, so he packed it up, shipped it off to Canon. No, he didn't ship it to Canon. Canon wouldn't know what to do with it. Okay, he shipped it off to Nikon, and he got the Z8 back home. So if you want to see pictures with the brand spanking new Z8, you can look up Woody Mallory. Okay, I'll put him back up again. See in red it says Woody Mallory, and you see his avatar here. That's the little picture in the corner. So go to Facebook, because he does a lot of bird pictures. So if you like nature pictures, bird pictures, I think he slips in a few landscapes here and there. And I'm sure he's going to be showing off the new Z8. I mean, who doesn't get a new camera and start taking pictures with the new camera? I do that. You do that. We all do that. I scream, you scream, we all scream. Yeah, you got it for ice cream. Okay? So congratulations, Woody, on your new camera. I hope it gives you years and years of enjoyment. So Roy says Minolta bought Konica. That's true. Then Sony bought Minolta. That's true. Then Panasonic bought Sony. That's false. See, you never know when someone will slip you a weenie. So you got to be careful, especially on rumor sites, because their rumor is worth the paper it's written on. And nowadays, rumors are not even written on paper. So until it actually comes to pass, there's a chance, okay? But don't take it to the bank. I did that once before, and I got burned. I got burned real bad. I actually bought a camera back that I had sold because it disappointed me so much, and it was based on a rumor. I actually believed the rumor. Basically, what's the saying? Get caught with your pants down? Okay, nobody wants to get caught with their pants down. Well, I did. I had to turn around and sell the camera again. Okay, so if you want to say the word embarrassing, embarrassing. So here's Lewis, Mr. Camera Junkie. He's a stone's throw up the road. I'm in Miami. He's in Fort Lauderdale. And tomorrow, Lewis will be live. Tonight, Sly will be live. Randy is always putting up YouTube videos. Who else? Lewis has been talking about it. He's threatening us, Louis Lazuka. So tomorrow night, we're going to be watching if God is willing and the bridge ain't up, and maybe I'll be here. I could pop in and say hi to Louis And of course, say hello to Aiden. So Norman says, Konica actually bought Minolta. Then Sony bought Minolta SLR technology. Boy, everybody knows the history. Woody, good to hear that. But I doubt I'm that lucky. Well, you never know. You just never know. Okay? So here's David, my buddy, my pal. Hi, Peter. I love you, David. Did you know I loved you, David? Do you know I love you, Lewis? Do you know I love you, Woody? Do you know I love you, Roy? Do you know I love you, Norm? Do you know I love you, Sly? Do you know I love you, every single person in here? Funny Fest. I'm trying to remember now. Ray. I love you, Ray, of course. I haven't seen Mark in here lately. Up in Chicago. So, and here's Bella. Hi, Bella. Oh, today is my mother's birthday. Well, what do you think we're going to do for Bella's mother? Okay, you know that's how I roll, but I'm going to actually have to get this mic turned on because it's not turned on. So you want to give me a second? Give me a second. And yeah, it's a good thing. Hold your horses. Keep your pantyhose on. So I'm going to turn on the mic. Okay, now the mic is on. And now I'm going to give myself a little bit of, I'm in the hall. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mama in Brazil. Happy birthday to you. How old are you now? Shh, it's a secret. How old are you now? Shh, it's a secret. You never ask a woman her age. How old are you, Mama? How happy birthday to you. So she's in Brazil. So they're watching this from Brazil. Happy birthday, Mama in Brazil. Happy birthday, Mama in Brazil. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Hi, Vovo. Hi, Vovo. How you doing, Vovo? How you doing? This is Peter. I love you, Vovo. Vovo, this is Peter in Miami. How are you doing? I love you. I love you, Vovo. Okay, bye-bye. Thanks, Bella, for letting me know it was your mom's birthday. Okay, let me put the mics back. Okay. All right, so I think the hall is off and we're back to normal, okay? So that was a little bit of a special occurrence because I know Bella is in Brazil. She communicated with, actually I spoke with her on the phone, okay? And I actually prayed with her. Actually, I prayed with a few people this week. I prayed with David. I prayed with Liam, I think. Who else? I prayed with Justin. He went in for surgery. And somebody asked me for prayer for someone, so we just prayed on the phone. So if you ask me for prayer, it's usually going to get done. Right then and there. I'm not a Sunday Christian. I'm a Sunday to Sunday Christian. Now, if you're not a Christian, that's okay. I respect you. I love you. Okay? But I can't stop being a Christian. That's just who I am. Everybody knows that. So we did some praying and stuff like that. So I spoke with Bella on the phone, and that's how I know she's in Brazil. Okay, so Lewis, 24 millimeters for vlog style because it's so wide, but 85 for sit down as the focal length. Yeah, and I like the 24 millimeters so much for vlogging, which can be done for live streaming, right? Which is supposed to be the topic for tonight, which I'm not sticking to so hot, but we'll get there. Give me a little bit of time. We'll get there. I might be a bad boy, but not all the time, all right? So I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, 24 millimeter, and that's intrigued me to find out if there's a 20 millimeter that's available, because I'd like it to be a little bit wider. And then I found out that Panasonic themselves actually makes an 18 millimeter 1.8 lens. And I'm going like, oh, very, very interesting. Then I started looking around and I found out that Sigma makes a 16 to 28 millimeter lens, 2.8. Oh, even more interesting. I say to you that very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay? I might even tell Mabel about it, but I don't want to wake the woman up. Never wake your wife up. Okay? Right? Mabel? Mabel! Ooh, she shot me a bird. That woman is so mean. Dang, 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 dang. So, yep, Lewis, you're a spot on, big boy. Yes, you are. 24 millimeter for vlogs. It's also good for family, because if you switch it over to crop, the 24 becomes 36. 36 is another very nice family in the house, in a restaurant, a field of view. And 24. Now, that's one of the negative things about this Panasonic camera. Just FYI. I will be making a list of things I don't like about this camera. They will not allow you to switch to crop mode for pictures, only for video. So the comeback on that is not satisfactory. I don't accept it. And that is just crop to what you want. But something happens in the way you frame in your mind, number one. Number two, the quality, I did a comparison, but I did it on the Canon camera. I can't do it here because it doesn't give me the opportunity, okay? And I found if I change it to the crop mode inside the camera, the quality is better than when I zoom it in Lightroom for pictures, okay? So that's just my 2 cents. And there might be people right here in this room right this very minute that disagree with me. Can you imagine that? Who in their right mind would disagree with me? I can't imagine. So Lewis says, happy birthday to Mama in Brazil. That's true. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. All right, so thank you, Lewis, for saying happy birthday. Jeff says, to be honest, I don't see much of a difference, but I might not be the best person to ask, as I'm not there on video or YouTube world. But you got good eyes, and even if you got bad eyes, you got an opinion. I like opinions. But the ISO looks good in my opinion. I think I'm going to keep it at 400. I think it's doing a little bit better job. But again, it's only my opinion this time. So thanks, Jeff. I did want your opinion. So I do thank you for that. Hey, Sam. Happy birthday, Sam. Oh, it's not your birthday? Well, I love you anyway. How you doing? I hope you're feeling better. Oh, I hope Joey's feeling better. I send my love out to Joey. Hi, Joey. I'm giving you a shout out from Miami, Florida, Joey, so you could play him this part back. Joey, I love you. Do you know why? I never met you, but I love your Tesla, so I love you too. That's very shallow. No, I care about you, Joey. I pray for everybody that comes here, and Joey, you come in here, you come along with Sammy. Joey is one of Sammy's good friends. And Sammy Superstar has enrolled in a high level elite school for filmmaking. So we've got a budding filmmaker in our midst. We're going to see Star Wars 79, directed by Sammy Superstar. Randy, I thought you were sleeping. Here he is. I have been using the Sony 24mm 2.8G lens. Wow, talk about coincidence. I also like the 40 and the 50 2.5G lenses, small and not heavy. That's a key point. Great for street photography. So what Randy is bringing up here is super important. Okay? Now, if you're wondering if I'm being silly, I'm not. Okay? What I'm doing is I think I have cracked the code, the password, to make like this one. If I talk with my hands, all right, now Roy has showed me how to keep this from going to my hands, but it will trip. If I get very passionate and I talk like this, it'll go and focus in on my hand like that, all right? Now, on this camera, I have figured out how I can do this, and it stays put on my eyes. And the setting is not in the same place with the focus settings. So I didn't have this setting on at all. So I'm going to make a video about that. Now, if I cover my eyes, so if I wanted to show you my kazoo, and I want to show you, that's my kazoo. It's even hard, okay? So it grabbed the kazoo. You could tell because my eyes are out of focus, okay? So when you see my eyes out of focus, all right, you could tell that what I'm holding up is what's in focus. So if I wanted to show you my mouse, I don't show just anybody my mouse. I could put that up and I could show you my mouse, okay? But if I talk and I do this and I get passionate because I'm Greek and the Greeks talk with their hands, what can I do? That's just a part of who I am. I talk with my hands. Yes, I do. Why isn't this going round? Because I hit it. I smacked it. Where's the button? You're going to make me turn around. No. There it is. I found it. There it is. Okay, now the tree is going out. Okay. So, oh, the pillow. I'm sticking it with the pillow. Thanks. Whoever told me that mental telepathy. Okay. I got it. I got your message. So, that was Randy. Randy, you're spot on, dude. 24 millimeters. And I'm looking very heavily into the, make sure I don't have any white spots, dust, dandruff, anything else on my shirt. And they're 24 millimeter. And now I'm looking, instead of a prime, I can use the 2.8. Because if I come to your house for dinner, I might want to zoom in on something, so I can zoom it into 28 millimeters. If I'm doing video, I can also make that 28 millimeters. What's half of 28? It would be, carry the 4, no, 14? Okay, so if you add 14 to the 28, what do you have? You've got 28, 38, and 4. You've got 42 millimeters. So you're getting close to actually almost a 50 millimeter. So the 16 to 28 is going to be very nice when I go to Randy's house and I want to take pictures of Buddy and Dusty and Wanda, and I might take a picture of Randy. Or if I go to Sly's house, I want to take a picture of Sly and Hoss. Hi, Hoss, if you're over there. If you're not, never mind. But hi anyway, Hoss. Hoss is Sly's grandson, who she is totally in love with. I can't imagine why that grandmother is so in love with her grandchild. I am Hassan, and I have the Lumix S5 Mark II. Hey, finally, thank you for saying that. I'm thinking I'm the only one that's got the darn thing. And I use the Lumix 20-60, which is the kit lens. And that is a 3.5 5.6 all the time. It's a great lens. So we bought this as an open box special. So I got $200 off, I think, right? So $19.99 to $17, that's $200 off. So they didn't offer it with the kit lens. I would have bought it with the kit lens, except it wasn't available because I have no Panasonic lenses. So I did buy the adapter, and now I'm using all of my Canon lenses on here. And we got a Nikon adapter coming in, courtesy of Charles. Charles is sending me a Nikon adapter, so I will be able to put my Nikon lenses on there. And not only is he sending me the adapter, Charles is sending me a Nikon lens, a 50 millimeter 1.2 old lens, okay? But it's what they call oldie but goodie. So we're going to find out how goodie it is when it gets here. So that's coming, I guess, by mail. And it'll be the Charles lens, because we got the Randall tower, we got the Randall camera, we got the Randall lens. Randy just stocks me up. He is a blessing and a half. God bless Randy. God bless Randy. Let's make that a double. I'll have a double. Let's do a double blessing for Randy. So thank you for coming in, saying hi. Hassan, I appreciate you. How are you liking? Where did you come from? That's the most important thing, okay? Because I have had Panasonic cameras, so I'm looking for things, and most of the time they're there, but there is some things about the camera that I don't like, and they're silly little things. So, for instance, if I take a picture of you, Hassan, okay, and I want to push a button and zoom in to where I focused, you can't do that while it's reviewing. You have to get it out of the review, bring it back up, then you can roll the dial on the back and it will zoom right in, if you have the camera set that way, to what it was focused on, the focus point, okay? So it's kind of stupid that you can't just do that while it's in review mode. I should be able to either just spin the dial while it's in review mode and it zooms up, or push a button and it zooms in. But if you take a picture and it pops up and you're just looking at it, you either have to wait for it to time out or you just push the button for play, okay? That is a negative for me. So another negative, the play button is up in this corner of the camera, all right? And then the erase button is in this corner of the camera. They need to be switched because you very rarely use the erase button. So if you're going to use the erase button, which is the one that looks like a garbage can, so you know any camera that you're looking at, there's like a garbage can button. Well, it's in the cluster of all the things that you use. So I don't think, in my personal opinion, that the erase button is a highly used button, but you do have it. They need to put that erase button in the upper left-hand corner, and in the bottom where the erase button is, they need to put the play button. Now, the workaround for that, because I'm talking to Hassan now because he's my buddy, he's got the same camera. The workaround for that is you can, the pad where you can click that round wheel that goes round, you can click, and I pick the right one, the button on the right. So when I push that, it's the same as pushing the view the picture you just took or the video you just took button. So I can operate the camera with one hand now, unless I have to erase something. If they do put the button up there, then I would have to do that two hands. But the erase button is something that should be used very, very carefully because you could do an oops. So by moving it out of the area that you would use all the time, it's an added safety feature. So that's just 2 cents on my part. I didn't design the camera, but I certainly have a few opinions, okay? So that is one of the things that I'm going to do when I have my disappointments video. Petertarians is much better than Peter Files. I don't even get that one. Peter Files? I don't have Peter Files. Here is Charles. Orlando News. That's Charles, okay? So he is up in the Orlando area, and he goes to all the parks. There's the one with the rat, okay? There's the one with the fish. There's the one, I think the Holy Land is still up there somewhere, all right? Then there's Universal. What was the one that he was in just the other day? What was, I can't name all the parks because I don't remember them all. But Orlando News is the gentleman that is sending me a lens. He's donating his lens to the Christmas room. And the adapter to put it on here. And his name is, whoop, right there, Orlando News. So you can go and watch his channel. I love watching his channel because he walks through the theme parks. He goes to Disney Springs. He goes to downtown Winter Park. That's a very nice area. So if I ever move out of the South Florida area, that would be something that I would want to look into, moving into the Winter Park area, because you're right there at Disney World. And Charles says you could just get the bus and it takes you right to the parks, right there. It just drops you off. And you don't have to deal with parking and all that kind of stuff. Roy says the Panasonic looks fantastic, but I'm mostly a stills photographer. I'm taking beautiful pictures with this. Oh. That's the purpose of the 24 millimeter. All right, and that's the purpose of wanting to go to the 16 to 28 millimeter, 2.8, is because I do like taking pictures. And then I got all the Canon lenses to use too. So it's like we're fully loaded. So Charles says it's the Nikkor 55 millimeter 1.2 lens. Thank you. I thought it was the 50 millimeter. So it's the 55 millimeter 1.2 Nikkor lens, and he's sending me that. He's contributing it. He's donating it to the Christmas room. And the adapter so I could put it on this camera. What a guy. What a guy. So what you need to do is go over to where Charles is and take a look at his channel. And if you like looking at the parks up there, subscribe to the gentleman. Okay? Actually, most of us have YouTube channels that are in here. So we do support each other. So Roy is saying, Orlando, Charles, I love the 55 1.2 much more than the 50 1.2. Ooh, that's good news, because guess what, Roy? The 55 1.2 is coming to town. It's coming to town because of Charles. Okay, so Hassan says, Sigma, Lumix, and Leica are all a part of the L-Mount. The L-Mount Consortium. They are considered first party. Keepon, Meyer Optic, Artisans, 7 Artisans, TT Artisans, Mike, Venus make lenses for the L-Mount. So we got plenty of lenses to choose from. It's, you know, I'll tell you the truth, Hassan, okay? Now, we're only talking just me and you, so nobody else can hear this, okay? I come from Canon and Nikon, but I had the GH5. I still have the GH4. I have the LS100, so I do know Panasonic. It's in my blood, and I like it. And when I got this, the camera was slightly disappointing, which is surprising to me because I was very, very excited to get another Panasonic camera here. But you know, sometimes you get a camera, a new one, and you're very excited about it, and then slowly it slides down, meaning you're less and less excited. But the opposite has happened with this S5 Mark II, the S52 as I call it, okay? It came in and it was like, it's very nice. I like it. I was expecting a little more. But every time and every day I'm using it over and over, I'm liking the camera more and more and more. And what is that movie? Sir, may I please have more? More? You want more? Yes, please. I want more. Okay. So I am really liking the camera more and more on a daily basis. And sometimes it's just finding something unique in the camera. One of the things that I was disappointed about is I've seen people make videos and they'll do something like point over there or they'll point over there and it'll lose focus on the eye. Okay? And I'm going, well, damn, my Canon does that, all right? So I was disappointed. So I've seen videos of people showing off their S52 and it was doing the same thing. Then I saw a couple of people where they did that and it didn't. They were able to put their hand like there. And you notice my hands are right here. If I get in the area of the face, it will go over to the face. But if I talk like a normal Greek, because my grandparents are from Greece, Cyprus, that area. So I spoke Greek before I spoke English, all right? So when I get into this, I gotta tell you something, the camera was doing that, okay? Now it doesn't. Do you notice? Do you notice? Do you notice? Do you notice? So, yep, I get more and more excited with this camera. Instead of it being a downhill slide, it's an uphill slide, which is very, very good news. So Sammy Superstar, congratulations on the 400 subscribers. Thank you, Sam. I appreciate that. And if there's anybody watching, if you're not a subscriber, push the button. Okay, and that's so that we could get 401. I'm pulling the pillows forward in case you're wondering what's he doing. Is he going to vomit? I was just pulling this is not a comfortable chair, but neither was the other one, okay? So it's nothing to complain about. Let me pull this a little closer so I can just kind of like relax. Relax. Go to it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-da. So Orlando is saying to Roy, yes, indeed, it is super sharp. Norm is out in the car. Well, it's been so long since I came around, he might be home by now. That's what happens. People make comments, and I get to it like 15, 20 minutes later. The feeling has passed, you know. So Lewis says, congratulations, Peter. I meant 400 ISO, not subs. Oh, Woody, I thought you were congratulating me on the 400 subs, but the 400 ISO. I think I'm going to leave it here. Well, I haven't looked at the playback yet. This has become the shirt. This has become a Christmas room shirt. Okay, so you know those little hangers that you buy? They're plastic. They're like 49 cents. You buy a package of 10 of them for $7 or something on Amazon. They're plastic. They hook over a door, and they come down, and they give you a hook. Well, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. So I have 6 shirts and a pair of pants. I forgot to put my pants on. Thank God you can't see the lower part. So those are the long pants, and I'm wearing my short pants, okay? But when I cross my legs, you see skin. See? Whoop! Not supposed to happen, all right? So I forgot to put my long pants on. But with the 85 millimeter, I think that problem's been solved. I could do the show in my underwear if I wanted to. And you would never be the wiser. No, I'm not in my underwear. Hello? Okay, this is a family show. So he meant ISO 400, and thank you. I do want the feedback. Yes, yes, yes. So Lewis is saying hello. Roy is talking to Charles. And Lewis is saying hello, friends. Hi, Lewis. You didn't answer my question. Are you out and about, or are you in like sin? Ooh, I got a new saying. In like Flynn, that'd be better. Okay, so that is Lewis, and Roy is talking to Charles, and better than my old 50 millimeter Nocturne lens. So now I'm getting excited. The lens is on its way. Roy says dogs have short lives. Well, he was 8 years old, and he was killed. We went out to pee, and he died, okay? And that struck me bad enough where I would just shake in the middle of the night. People were either compassionate or they were rude as hell. It was one or the other, okay? It's like, it's a damn dog. What the hell's wrong with you? Well, I'm sorry, but it hit my heart. It was bad, okay? So, but I'm over it now. I even had a dream, okay? So I was mopping the floor in the dining room. So the living room and dining room, it's New York style, so the door is over to the side, okay? So to get air, this is in my dream, to get air into the room, because I used Lysol, Pine Sol actually is what I use. So to get the smell out, because it's strong, it smells good, but you don't want to smell like that all day. I opened the door. This is in my dream, I have to tell you that, all right? So the door's open, I'm mopping, and my dad drives up. So my dad died in 2015, so he's in heaven too. So he drives up right to the front door, which is weird because we don't have anything that you could drive right up the front door, unless you plan on climbing the stairs. But in my dream, it worked, okay? So, hey, it's my dream. So I believe the dream came from God. So my dad came with his Mazda minivan. So Dad had the Mazda minivan because he would take my mother out, and she had one of those zoom carts because she had a hard time walking. And we would go to the grocery store, to Costco. I call it the $200 club because if you go to Costco, you can't get out without spending $200, okay? And we'd fill it up. So he bought the Mazda, and it was a very nice car, okay? So the Mazda drove right up close to the front door. I mean, it didn't hit the front door, but I would say it was like less than 5 feet from the front door. So I could see Dad in the car, and Jingle Bells' head popped up in the window. You know how the dog will put their paws up on the dashboard? So all of a sudden, he popped his head up, and I looked, and I'm stunned. So Dad leans over, and he opens the door, and Jingles runs out of the car and runs so fast he jumped up into my arms, screaming and howling and crying. Have you ever seen a dog when they haven't seen their owner for days or months or something? Oh my God, I could feel his heartbeat, okay? And he was licking everything, my eyes, my nose, my mouth, okay? And then I finally had to put him down because his claws were scratching me, okay? Not bad, nothing bad happened, okay? So I put him down, he jumped back up in my arms. And I'm just hugging him, and I got tears in my eyes, and then I put him down. And when I put him down the second time, he ran right back in the car with my dad, and Dad closed the door, and they drove off. And I woke up, and I know Dad's in heaven, that Jingles is in heaven. And let me tell you, that was like a confirmation from God, because I've had well-meaning Christian a-holes, okay? I use that term lovingly, Christian a-holes, to tell me dogs don't go to heaven. They don't have a soul, they don't have a spirit, they can't receive Jesus, they can't believe anything. So your dog is dead, you need to deal with that, okay? Pray to God to help you through this hard time. Well, you know, I'm not a cusser, but one of those F words came to my mind. I promise it did. It didn't come out of my mouth, but it certainly came to my mind, okay? And then something good came out of that. I did go to Bible college, so I am equipped to actually do what preachers do. It's called an exegesis or apologetics, and that is where you take a scripture and you rip it to shreds, because you want to find out the root of everything, where it's connected to other verses. I mean, you can't just have you ever heard somebody that thinks they know the Bible that says, well, you're a Christian, you have to turn the other cheek. Or you're a Christian, oh, you hate gays, okay? Well, they're just taking a scripture and just shooting it at you and have no idea what the hell they're talking about. So to turn the other cheek, you try slapping me and see what happens to you. You're going to get slapped back, okay? You try punching me and see what happens. You're going to get a sock in the jaw. But I thought you were a Christian. You're supposed to turn the other cheek. Like hell, that's not what it says. Okay? It says when you're running a race, your eyes are on the finish line. Your eyes are on the goal to finish the race. You actually want to win the race. Okay? If somebody steps in front of you and slaps you, don't get your eyes off the goal. Turn the other cheek, let them slap you the other way. You keep going. That's what that means. But the person that wants to be a smart aleck is going to say, turn the other cheek, you're a Christian. Try it with me. See what happens. You're going to be very surprised. Okay. All right, back to, Sammy says, oh, I'm at 402. Thank you for the 2 people that subscribed tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mwah, I love you. I appreciate each and every one of you. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Yes, sir. Subscribe. So thanks, Sammy. I asked that, and Sammy answered, and I appreciate it. So Lewis is saying, rest in peace, Jingle Bells. He ain't resting in peace. He's up there having a ball. He's having a ball with your dog, with Coco. Yeah, what do you think? Heaven's a boring place? Like hell. He is actually, heaven is more lively than it is here. People think heaven is this floaty place. Oh, yes, I bow to you. No, it's Party City. It's noisy. There's streets of gold. There's buildings, there's mansions, there's shopping centers, there's rivers, there's trees, there's places to go, there's places to come. I mean, this place is hopping. We're fashioned, earth is fashioned after heaven. So you don't see many preachers preach about heaven. And yet that's where we're going if you're in Christ as a Christian. That's what I believe. Okay? each of the religion, whatever one that you're in, tells you how to attain your goal of getting to heaven. You follow your religion. I'm going to follow mine. Yes, I will do mine. You do yours. Okay? So, Sammy is saying he's watching over you and sending his love. That's his jingles. Roy says we're at 403. We're climbing as we speak. You guys get me excited. Many new cameras are dual ISO, and the in-between ISO can be a bit flaky. Well, I learned that. I was shooting around in my bedroom in the kitchen, and it was doing ISO 2500, ISO 3200, and I said, wait a minute, this camera right here is dual ISO. So I just manually put it to ISO 4000 and said, stay there, sucker. Okay, and wow, that clears up like you're back at ISO 400. And if that isn't eye-opening, boing! Okay, it really is something to be, whatchamacallit, enamored with, how clean it becomes. Here's my buddy David. I love you, David. I see you hiding. Hey, everybody. I'm so happy to see you, David. I love David. I spoke with David on the phone. What did we talk? We talked for a good hour. What a wonderful young man. The boy has just got love in his heart, and him and the double D's, like M&M, D&D. I'll bet you D&D tastes better than M&M's. It's a higher form of candy. What candy do I know that starts with a D? I can't think of one. But David is a beautiful young man. He's got a high level of faith. He's got a high level of energy. It's very hard to get him calmed down. Actually, I prayed together with David on the phone, and it was a beautiful time together. I got me a new brother. So, and I love all of you guys. Don't anybody feel left out. I don't want anybody to feel left out. This is not what the Christmas room is about. This is peace on earth, goodwill towards men. Christmas, and that's why I'm in the Christmas room. Boy, if that doesn't look like a pretty picture, does it look nice to you guys? Or is it just me? Roy says, on the list, my Z8 seems okay, although I don't have that 35mm lens. Okay. So Roy's got a Z8 also. Oh, that's right, he does. I don't know why I forgot. Congratulations, Roy. It's wonderful when we have these new cameras, but he also has the Z9. Okay. So one of the things that I've experienced with the Canon that I miss terribly on the Panasonic is when it puts across the bottom of my LCD screen, it puts the shutter, the aperture, the compensation, and the ISO. And if you want to change any of them, you just tap on it, and then you just slide it or roll the dial or turn the circle, and you can just change your shutter speed without moving any dials, without changing from P mode to A mode to S mode or any of that. You want to change your ISO on the Canon? Tap the ISO button and then roll something or slide and you change it. Well, what if you get flustered and you want to go back in a hurry? You know that garbage can I talked to you about? Okay, the delete button? Tap it twice and it sets the camera to automatic. No touching anything, and it's all right there in living color right in front of you. Panasonic needs to implement the V for victory mode, where it puts all the compensations, all of the direct things on the bottom. You want to change your shutter speed? Tap the shutter speed, okay? Then you can use any, while it's active, you can use any button you want, change the shutter speed, okay? Then, if you change your mind or you need to go to automatic, double tap the garbage can and the shutter speed will go back to automatic. So you want to be in shutter mode, okay, or in P mode, you just double tap. That is the neatest feature ever. Oh, and I used it so, I miss that the most on this camera. So how did I find a way to work with this? Hassan, if you're still with me, check this out, buddy, okay? If you hit the display button, eventually you'll come up to where it shows you all the settings on the camera. So if you're in, let's say, M mode, okay, or what other mode, you could tap on the A and move it. You could tap on the S shutter speed and you can move it, okay. You could tap on the ISO, you can move it. Then you tap again twice and it brings you back the picture. So it does it, it's clumsy at best, but it's a step in the right direction. So they got it built in. They just need to get the engineers to get their act together and present it to you as a mode. Okay, they can call the mode anything they want. All right, Canon calls it the FV mode, meaning the values for everything pertaining to your light, all right, is across the bottom, and it allows you to go into any part of the screen. Into any of those 4 functions. Okay, shutter speed, aperture, compensation. Because if you're in P mode, you need to move the compensation up and down, okay? And shutter, okay? No, ISO. So all the 4 things that help you to quickly control your light are in the FV mode on the Canon. It's kind of like half-ass on the Panasonic. They need to clean that up because that is what I was going to say a layman, but I'm a professional and I use that the most. Because if I want to take a picture of you and I want to blur out the background, guess what? I'm going to hit the A mode and I'm going to dial the aperture all the way down as low as my lens goes. Then after I take a picture of you, okay, Roy, very nice. Now we can move on. I hit the garbage can twice and it puts the camera completely in automatic mode. Every one of those 4 things goes in auto, 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 auto. It's a really cool thing, okay? So, oh, it's 11:19. I got to pay attention because Sly is coming. You better watch out. You better not pout. You better not cry. I'm telling you why. Sly is coming to town. Bop, bop, bop. Black Magic has joined the L Alliance. That is true. No Z8 photos are posted on Facebook yet. Still working on testing and setup. Hey, if you want me to call you and talk with you, I'll be glad to do that. If you want me to butt out and mind my own business, I'll be glad to do that too. So that's fine. YouTube thrives on whatever. I can't say all those words. Roy, it's 11:19. Roy, what are you doing to me? Roy, shot through the heart and you're to blame. You give love a bad name. Okay, let's get back to business. Peter, did you check the new platform Threads? I've looked at it a couple of times. Can I be honest with you for a second? I'm having a conflict of interest of the political side. However, I am watching because you know what? If it actually winds up being a new platform that needs to be tended to, then I will have to be there, okay? But I'm not going to go there now because I can't use it now. But you can, because you're looking for a new audience and it might be your cup of tea. I have no problem. What I'm saying, Charles, it does not come with a helping of guilt. Not at all. Those platforms are there for us to use. They're the ones that F us over. They screw us over, okay, by using censorship and trying to get me to think what they want me to think. I don't like that. However, the Facebook, the Twitter, the YouTube, the Threads, the Rumble, there's another one. It's there for me to use and screw them with everything else. And that's really how I feel about it, okay? However, they can sit smug if they flourish out of nowhere. So I don't want to be a part of that flourishing until I need it. Then I'm there with you, buddy. I'll be right there shoulder to shoulder, okay? So I did think about it after we hung up. I talked with Charles on the phone. So I thought about it. I started to look at it. And then I started to read a little of the banter that's going on back and forth, okay? So in case you guys don't know what the hell we're talking about, all right, what's his name? The guy with the cars, Elon Musk. He bought Twitter for $42 billion, I believe. So the guy that he bought it from turned around and opened a mimic. So he collected $42 billion to show you what an ass he is. Okay, so he collected the $42 billion, and rather than being a gentleman, doing something new, okay, because the man just spent $42 billion for Twitter, okay, he turned around and he opened a brand new, identical to Twitter, even though he just sold it, and it's called Threads. So when you see Threads, like here, I don't have a loose thread here, okay, so he opened Threads. So that is a dishonorable thing to do right there, okay? But in politics, things are so heated, all right, that he wants it like, I want it my way, screw you, I'll take your $42 billion and I'll just open up a new platform, okay? So I don't know if there's a non-compete clause. There should have been. That would be Elon Musk's fault, okay? But just as a gentleman, if somebody bought Peter Craig Live for $2 billion, is worth a lot now. We crossed 400, right? All right. I wouldn't go and do the same exact thing while I took your money. There's something, what we call a gentleman and the way we act. Well, in business, business and love, all is fair. No, you can act like an honorable man with integrity all the time. You don't have to say, well, it's business, we're going to the mats. Don't take it personal, it's business. You can choose of your own free will to be a man of integrity. It's your choice. I'm not going to tell you what to choose. I'm not talking to you guys, obviously, because we're all in here and we all love each other, okay? Wait, I've lost my mouse. So let's catch up because I need to hang up this phone before Sly goes. So Roy, where did I leave off? I know it was with Roy. We'll just start here. 24 millimeters becomes 36, only for the field of view. Well, yep, I preached that a gazillion times. Carlos is here. He's snug as a bug in a rug in his new office. What up, everybody? That is definitely your color, Peter. I'm guessing you're talking about the shirt or the lens, because I'm using a different lens. They're both good, okay? I love the new movie Indiana Jones. Yeah, that one is out and it's tanking. So what is out is a movie that has actually, one of the top grossing movies of eternity has been Indiana Jones. So there's this new movie, and I can't even tell you the name of it, but I wanted to tell you so you can go see it. It's not the sounds of silence, it's the sound of something. And it actually has beat on the opening weekend the Indiana Jones, all of the Indiana Jones movies. Okay? So that's shocking, and I never even heard of the movie. So it's the sound of something. If anybody knows what it is, please enlighten me. It's the sound of, I don't know. It's not the sound of silence, because that's the song. Okay, so 14 millimeters, says Roy. Yes. Daniel is here. The Panasonic 18 millimeter 1.8 is a really good lens. APS-C is about 27 millimeters. So here's my question to you. First, thank you for coming in, Daniel. Thank you for commenting. A lot of people will shit a brick to get up there and be commented because I might make fun of them. Like, look at how weird you look, Daniel. Now, are you feel embarrassed now? Don't worry about it. I love you, Daniel. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. The 18 millimeter, I can use that, and it's a 1.8. So my what do you call it when you're having an argument inside of yourself? Do I want that 8? They're about the same price, too. Do I want that 18 millimeter 1.8, or do I want the Sigma 16 to 28 2.8? Okay, so this next part is critical because people so many times say, what camera do I get? Well, what are you going to use it for? Underwater? Well, I have to tell you, an underwater camera So it's not fair unless you tell me what your shtick is, okay? So I want to use it when I go to your house, Daniel, or I go to my brother's house, or we go to a restaurant, and I want to have the camera with me, and I want to do videos, I want to do pictures, I want to do it in darker settings like a restaurant, which is where the 1.8, so that's part of the yin and the yang. So I'm thinking like 1.8, I'll zoom the pictures, okay, or I'll use the crop mode, okay, but then 2.8 ain't half bad because we have dual ISO. So you start at 4000 ISO, you're back to ISO 400, which is very nice. So you go to a stinking dark restaurant, put the camera at ISO 4000, or set the limit so it doesn't go below 4000, which is a smarter way to handle it, okay, and you are doing good with the 2.8. So I'm conflicted between those two. So I am going to have to go off the air, so I'm not going to be able to read the rest of these guys. It'll actually come back where all the comments come back after YouTube finishes processing this video. So probably Sunday you'll get to see your comments back again. Okay, so it is 2 minutes before Sly goes on. I do have to say hi to Mark. Hey Peter, how's it going? I'm shooting on the Panasonic EVA 1 tomorrow. Okay, so that's a cine camera, right? The EVA 1 is their cinema camera. That's a hot little camera. So Randy says we're at 404 subscribers. Thank you guys. Thank you for subscribing. So, yep, Hassan, the garbage can button, I could swap it myself. I did think that. My lightning fast mind, Hassan, it took me 3 days to realize I could switch it myself. Okay, like, dang, how stupid could I be? So I'm just kind of, I'm just looking through to see if there's somebody I absolutely have to say hello. We're at 404 now, so thank you guys. Thank you for loving me enough to subscribe. That's a pretty big move to do that. Anyone using dual ISO camera should avoid the crossover ISO point. Okay, yeah, I do agree. ISO 4000, by the way, on this camera, not this one, but when we get back here, is like 10 times cleaner than ISO 3200, which is one step lower. Okay, so that's one lesson. So here's what I was looking for. Okay, so Sly is going to be live right there. Okay, and she's on right after me in less than 60 seconds. So we are going to go and I'm going over there. So I'm going to come over there, and if you have anything you want to say to me, you can do it over there. But let's give Sly whatchamacallit, a boost by going over there. And thank you, Charles. Charles always gets me out of trouble. Sound of Freedom is the #1 scoring box office hit of all time at this moment. It changes as time goes on, okay? So that's what I wanted to say. So I will meet you over as Sly's after I go potty. I got to go to the bathroom. Might get a little snack, and then I will come up there. So Sly should be starting right now, and I'm talking over her, and she's kind of used to that now because even on the phone I talk over Sly. So I love each and every one of you. Seriously, thank you for the people that subscribed tonight. Keep subscribing. I love you guys. Many of you guys are going to watch this after YouTube processes it. God, as a regular video, so you'll be watching it. I don't move from the chair much, so you can actually watch this as an iPod, what do they call that? Podcast. You could just listen to it, because the only thing that really happens is I flap my arms. Like right now, I'm flapping my arms. And look at this. It's the focus is solid. How come? I'm going to have to make a video and show you what's the setting, and it's easy. All you got to do is see it, and you'll know, oh, damn, that needs to be turned on. Okay? So I love you guys. Thank you for being here. Next week, if God is willing and the bridge isn't up, and I do pray for each and every one of you every single day by name. Okay? You do get prayed over. And I have it written down in my prayer journal. That shows you that I love you. So to everybody, Love you. Let's go over to slides. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye-bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.